And South Korea's National Security Advisor Suh Hoon is going to meet with the U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in Washington on Thursday local time. According to the Blue House, he arrived in the U.S. on Tuesday for a 4-day visit at Washington's invitation. This is his first trip to the U.S. since he became National Security Advisor in July. Suh is expected to reaffirm the Seoul-Washington alliance and step up communication regarding North Korea's denuclearization and other bilateral issues. On Wednesday, Suh met with his U.S. counterpart Robert O'Brien. His visit comes after President Moon Jae-in called again for a declaration formally ending the Korean War and a resumption of the inter-Korean peace process.